What's going on, everyone? So I've been talking a lot about Max Christie and Dalton Knecht, and they deserve it, and we're going to talk about them again. Instead of talking about them individually, I'm going to talk about them all in one video. But these two have been very impressive the last few games, but in particular, that Sacramento game, as well as Max Christie, really more so the last, 10 games or so. Dalton Knecht is really starting to come around these last, 3 or 4 games in particular, right? But you look at the Sacramento game, Max Christie, 32 minutes, 16 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 5 of 8, 3 of 5 from 3-point range. He's been shooting the 3 ball so much better the last, like I said, about 7 games or so. A block, 2 steals, 5 fouls, which I've talked about. I actually prefer. One of the big things that the Lakers have had the last few years is the lack of effort, particularly on the defensive side. And I've talked about, I would rather see everyone have 5 personal fouls because at least they're being aggressive and being physical and trying than, those lackluster performances. But ever since Max Christie got injected in the starting unit, the Lakers have been better overall as a team, much better defensively. Him, now that he's kind of just giving you better offensive production, right? It's really kind of helped the overall offensive production of this team. And then Dalton Knecht, this was a very impressive game. I actually made a video yesterday about Dalton Knecht. And he just, everything that I talked about in that video, he did. And then some, right? 33 minutes, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 6 of 10 from the floor, 2 of 5 from 3, which is 40%, 4 of 4 from the foul line, was a +9. But here's the thing, right? With Dalton Knecht, he's being much more aggressive, using his size, his length, his athleticism to beat guys off the dribble, to get to the basket, to just be more aggressive on the offensive side of things. Him as an off-ball slasher has been very impressive. I mean, this guy gets 10 points a game just moving off ball and just leaking out when the defense isn't paying attention. And like I said, using that speed, that athleticism, his lane agility, he was best in the draft in that regard. So he gets from A to B quick. And if you just sag off of him or take your eyes off of him for even a second, he's there, right? And we saw how much he impacted the game just moving without the basketball. But then also attacking closeouts and all that. It's been very impressive to see what Dalton Knecht and Max Christie have really kind of become and evolved into. As great as Max Christie has been in the starting unit, I still want the Lakers to go get, a legit 3-and-D wing and ideally a 3-and-D style point guard, and in a perfect world, you get a Bruce Brown and a Kyle Kuzma or Cam Johnson would be the ideal, but I just think he's a little unrealistic. But something like that to where, you have the 3-and-D. Again, I really, really like what Max Christie has been doing and bringing to the table. My concern, though, is just the lack of experience. And I'll touch on that here more in a moment. But I want to talk about Knecht, and then we'll pivot to Christie, because Christie, I think, is a little easier. Dalton Knecht, he's really starting to figure it out, right? And something that I've talked about with Knecht and Christie when speaking on just their inconsistencies and their struggles at times and how you need to stick with them, right? I haven't really criticized Dalton Knecht at all this season because he's a rookie, right? Bad shooting nights, bad scoring, it happens. Stretches. Oh, I know it's been a couple weeks before this recent stretch. He was just struggling. Steph had a 4 or 5 game stretch, something like that, where he had probably the worst game of a superstar arguably ever not that long ago, right? It happens. And he's a rookie, and he's getting into his own head, and it's affecting his defense and all that stuff. And JJ Redick continued to stick with him and stay by him and allowing him to just kind of play through his hiccups, play through his struggles. And I love that, right? And he's starting to figure some stuff out. He's starting to figure, oh, I don't need to just stand in the corner and wait all game for the basketball. Right? I can move without ball. I can be aggressive. I don't have to settle and just jack up threes. Right? Like I can beat guys off the dribble. I can get to my spots. I can be aggressive in attacking the rim. Right? Finish strong. And he's just going to get more and more comfortable. He's just going to get better understanding, just going to get better at finishing, all of it. He has, and something I talked about even when we drafted him, is his mid-range game and how good that is and how big of a factor that could be for the Lakers, right? Especially come playoff time and stuff like that, when teams make it such an apparent, like, hey, tack the closeout hard, the three-point line, and then protect the rim, right? So that mid-range really opens up. And you've seen Dalton Knecht, one or two dribbles, boom, pull up in the mid-range, right? And he's doing a much better job of getting to his spots, kind of finding where he needs to be on the court, how to kind of better maximize his offensive versatility. I really like that. Defensively, he's been much better lately, right? He's been more engaged because, he's been better offensively, and you've seen that. And I really have been impressed with how Knecht has kind of evolved and gone about his game. But Max Christie, I mean, dude, this guy's been unbelievable, right? The energy, the effort, the impact, the things that don't show up on the box score, right? Again, you look at his box score, and most of the time it's like, oh, he had a solid game, right? Like even against Sacramento, 16 points, 1 rebound. You're like, oh, I could have done better. 2 assists, okay, 1 block, 2 steals, okay, good defensively, right? 5 fouls, ooh. But if you actually watch the games, you watch the impacts, and you watch how he affects and impacts on the defensive side, or gets back in transition, closes on the transition and fast break from opposing teams, or just keeping balls alive, which allows the defense to get back and get set, or disrupting passing lanes, all these things that he doesn't get credit for, right? Like he had a couple like where he wasn't able to get the rebound, but just like tipped it to Anthony Davis. He doesn't get credit for that rebound, but it was because of him that got the rebound, right? Like those type of things, those type of plays, those type of moves are what makes Max Christie so invaluable. But like I was touching on earlier, my concern is come playoff time, the lack of experience. I am very glad that JJ came around and started leaning towards Max Christie more, and then even starting him, and we've seen the difference that him just in the starting lineup has done for this Lakers team. But if you can get a more experienced guy that's like, like I said, a Bruce Brown, right, who's been there, done that, been to the finals, he knows what to expect. He can have that level of impact. And then have Max Christie come off the bench. I mean, he can still play quality minutes, right? Like, again, just sticking with Bruce Brown as an example, right? Like, you can slot Max Christie still alongside Reeves. You can slot Max Christie alongside of Bruce Brown, right? Like, so you can put him at the 2, at the 3, on occasion, on certain matchups, certain nights, right? Depending on what it is come playoff time. I would prefer him for now, at least, to be the primary backup at the 2 guard, because you got a legit kind of two-way guard and, via trade or whatever. I just think that now that takes a little pressure off of Max, and then come playoff time, if he does have his struggles or anything, you're not so reliant on him like you are right now. During the regular season, it's fine. During the regular season, he's going to be good enough to where he's really going to have an impact, and you're going to win a lot of games. But my biggest concern is, again, come playoff time, when you're so reliant on a 20-year-old kid. Again, he never got his figure-it-out year. Darvin Ham never really played him, and when he did, it was like inconsistent minutes, and it's like he'd start one night, and then he wouldn't play for like a month, and then he'd play 5 minutes, or he'd play garbage time. Like, there was no consistency in Max Christie's play. And now you're starting to see him starting to come into his own a little bit, and both of these guys really having impacts in multiple ways, not just being just the spot up 3 and D guy, right? Like, again, you saw Max Christie putting the ball on the deck, being aggressive, right? Getting to his spots. Him moving without the basketball is another guy. Both of these guys I've been very impressed with. And I've talked a lot about them lately, but again, rightfully so. And I'm glad. I'm glad that I keep getting to talk about them. And I'd make a video about them every day if they were continue to impress the way that they are. So, it's great to see. And I'm excited to see how they continue to progress, continue to grow. Because they're only going to get better. Right? They're only going to, I mean, we're 31 games in. You still have another 51 games for them to continue to find their stride. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see where they end up. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me on my points? Do you kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.